The night smelled like antiseptic and rain when I walked into St. Raymond's Hospital for my overnight shift. After 8 years as a nurse, I could tell within seconds when a shift was going to be strange. Something in the air changes. The lights feel too bright. The halls feel too quiet. And that night felt like that from the moment I stepped inside. My badge beeped against the scanner, and the door unlocked with a soft click. The hallway stretched in front of me in a long ribbon of fluorescent glow. I could hear distant footsteps, a squeaky wheel from a medication cart, a muffled conversation behind a curtain. Everything looked normal, yet something in my chest tightened like I was walking into a storm. The elevator dinged, and my coworker Jordan stepped out. His shoulders were stiff, and his eyes were wider than usual. "You okay?" I asked. He shook his head once. "Did they tell you about the new patient?" "No. I just walked in." "What happened?" Jordan glanced down the hallway, then leaned closer. "They brought in a man from that bus accident on Route 9. EMTs said they found him standing in the road, completely conscious. But something is off." "Off how?" Jordan rubbed the back of his neck. "No ID, no phone, nothing unusual about that. But when they tried to get his vitals, the machines couldn't get a reading. Not low, not weak. Just nothing." I frowned. "Maybe the equipment was malfunctioning." "That's what I thought," he said. "So I tried manually. No pulse." I stared at him, waiting for the punchline. There wasn't one. "He's awake," Jordan added, alert, looking around. Sitting up like everything is fine. A cold wave rolled through me. "What room?" 414. Of course. The one room every nurse avoids when possible, not because it is haunted or anything dramatic, but because strange cases always seem to land there. I walked to the assignment board, and sure enough, his name was written next to mine. Under it, someone had added a thick line of red marker. "Do not leave him alone." My stomach tightened. I made my way to room 414, trying to shake off the unease. The hallway lights hummed above me, steady but somehow sharper than usual. A faint vibration ran through the floor, the kind that makes you check if a heavy cart is being pushed nearby, but the hall was empty. The door to 414 was slightly open. A dull glow leaked into the hallway. I knocked lightly. "Hello, I'm coming in." He was sitting upright in the bed, perfect posture. Hands resting loosely on his legs. Eyes fixed on the wall across from him. He looked like a man in his late 30s. Clean features, dark hair slightly disheveled, not a scratch on him. If I had walked into this room without context, I would have assumed he was waiting for a doctor, not coming from a bus accident. "Sir," I said gently, "I'm Nurse Evelyn. I'll be taking care of you tonight." He didn't look at me, didn't acknowledge my voice. I approached slowly and reached for the pulse oximeter, keeping my movements calm. "I'm just going to check your vitals," I said. I clipped the device onto his finger. The screen stayed blank. I checked the sensor. Perfectly functional. I tried a different finger. Still blank. I pulled his wrist into my hand to check manually. His skin was cooler than normal, not cold like a corpse, just cool. But there was no pulse, no faint throb, no pressure under the skin, nothing. I kept my expression neutral, but inside my mind raced. He sat perfectly still. "Sir," I said, "can you hear me?" Finally, he blinked once. A slow, deliberate motion. Then he turned his head toward me, not quickly, not suddenly, just slowly enough to make my nerves tighten. His eyes met mine. There was something distant in them, not empty, not lifeless, just far away, like his mind was somewhere else entirely. His lips parted slightly. "Where is she?" he said in a low, rough voice. The words hit me harder than they should have. "I'm sorry," I said. "Who are you looking for?" He swallowed with a dry click. "She called me." I heard her. I pulled a chair close to the bed, keeping my tone gentle and steady. "Can you tell me her name?" He shook his head. "I don't know her name," But she called me. That's all right, I said. We'll figure it out. Do you remember anything about what happened before you came here? His gaze drifted to the wall again. There was a bus. The crash. Everything went quiet. Yes, I said. The EMT said you were found near the scene. He turned his head toward me again. I wasn't near it. You weren't. He took a slow breath. I was on it. A soft chill slid down my spine. Do you remember what happened on the bus? I asked. He closed his eyes. There was this moment when everything went dark, not like closing your eyes. Dark in a different way. And then I heard her voice, clear, right next to me. She told me no. No, I repeated quietly. She said no. Then she said not yet. I stayed silent and let him continue. She pulled me out, he said. Pulled you out of the bus? He shook his head once. No, out of that dark place. The air inside the room felt heavier, not supernatural. Just thick, like humidity after rain. The overhead lights flickered once, and the vents let out a low vibrating hum before settling again. I stood up, needing a moment. I'm going to get the doctor. We're going to take good care of you, but we need more information. Before I reached the door, his voice sharpened. If you leave now, he said, she won't find me. I stopped and turned slightly. Why do you think that? His hands trembled faintly, just enough for me to notice. Because she said she'd come back, and she always does. Who is she? I asked again. He looked straight at me. His voice dropped to a fragile whisper. The woman who dies every time I don't. A cold ripple spread across my arms. I opened my mouth to respond, but the speakers in the hallway crackled. Not an alarm, not an announcement. Just a sharp burst of static that cut off abruptly. Silence followed. Heavy and complete. Inside the room, the man slowly turned his head toward the doorway. A small smile formed on his face. Not happy. Not relieved. A smile of recognition. Like someone he knew had just entered the room. Someone I could not see. For a long second, I stood in the doorway of room 414, watching the man smile at the empty space beside me. The air felt heavier than before, like the room had dropped a few degrees. My instincts pushed me to call security, but another part of me kept me still. Something about him was not dangerous, just wrong in a way I couldn't explain. Who are you seeing? I asked carefully. He didn't look away from the doorway. She's here. There was nothing there. No shadow, no movement. No figure. Just the dim hallway light bleeding into the room. I heard footsteps in the distance, faint and steady. Normal hospital sounds. That alone grounded me a little. I cleared my throat softly. I need to get the doctor, I said. Well, I'll be right back. His eyes stayed fixed on the doorway. If you leave, she won't know where I am. I won't be long, I said. He finally turned his gaze back to me, calmer than before. You don't understand. She follows the line between where I should be and where I am. If I move away from her, she loses me. What line? I asked. He opened his mouth as if to answer, then closed it again, like he realized the explanation would only confuse us both. I stepped into the hallway and pulled the door until it was nearly closed. I didn't want him alone, but I needed a second to breathe. The hospital corridor looked normal. Nurses at other stations. A few visitors by the elevator. Nothing strange. Jordan spotted me and walked over quickly. Everything okay? He asked. No, I said, and I need you to stay with him. For real, don't leave the room. Jordan's face paled. Why? What did he do? Nothing, he's not violent. He's confused and saying things that don't make sense, but something isn't right. Stay with him. Jordan nodded and slipped into the room without asking more questions. I headed for the nurse's station and found Dr. Patel finishing up charting. Do you have a minute? I asked. He glanced at me over his glasses. What's wrong? It's the new admission from the bus crash. He's conscious and alert, but he's saying some unsettling things. And there's something else. He has no pulse. Dr. Patel straightened. No pulse as in too faint to detect. No pulse as in nothing. Neither the machines nor manual checks picked anything up. He sighed. All right. Let me see him. We walked back to room 414. When we entered, the man was turned toward Jordan, watching him with a calmness that looked almost unnatural. Jordan looked relieved to see the doctor. Sir, Dr. Patel said gently. I'm Dr. Patel. I'm going to check you over. The man nodded once. The doctor examined him, taking longer than usual. He checked multiple pulse points, switched machines, and even asked for a second monitor. Each reading showed the same thing. The monitor displayed a flat line, but the man was sitting upright, breathing steadily, eyes tracking every movement. How are you feeling? Dr. Patel asked. Waiting, the man said. For what? The doctor asked. For her. Dr. Patel shot me a quick look. And who is she? He hesitated. She is the one who should have lived. What does that mean? Dr. Patel asked. The man shifted slightly, the first genuine movement since I met him. She dies, I live. That is the pattern. Jordan crossed his arms tightly. What pattern? The man looked down at his hands. Every time something happens, I survive. Others do not. She is always there. Always the one who should have walked away. But she doesn't. Are you saying she saves you? I asked. No, I'm saying she takes my place. My skin prickled. Dr. Patel stayed professional. But I could see a hint of concern behind his eyes. He stepped back slightly. We're going to run some scans to understand what's happening. She won't find me if I leave this room, the man said softly. We'll bring you right back, the doctor reassured him. The man shook his head. The line is thin. She follows it. If I step away, it breaks. Sir, I said gently, do you know her name or what she looks like? He lifted his eyes to mine. I only see her at the moment between living and not living. She looks different each time. Each time. The phrase hung between us like a weight. A soft alarm chimed from down the hall, nothing urgent. Just a bed alarm. Still, the timing made all of us tense. Let's get him to imaging, Dr. Patel said. Jordan, help me prep. Jordan nodded and moved toward the monitors. I grabbed the chart and stepped into the hallway to call transport. As I spoke on the phone, something made me glance back into room 414. The man was staring at me, not glaring, not frightened, just focused with a strange intensity, as if he had been waiting for me to look his way. Then he gave the faintest shake of his head. Not at me, at someone behind me. I turned slowly, expecting to see a visitor or another nurse. But the hallway was empty. A sudden pressure gripped my chest, sharp and tight. Not pain, instinct. The kind that makes every sense sharpen. The kind that has saved more nurses than medical training ever has. When I turned back into the room, the man was already standing. I had not seen him move. One moment he was sitting. The next he was on his feet, steady and silent. Dr. Patel raised a hand. Sir, please sit down. You shouldn't stand without assistance. The man stepped around the bed to the far side of the room. She is close. Who? I asked. He pressed his palm against the wall as if feeling for warmth. She was here. Just now. Right behind her. My heart slammed once. Behind me. Jordan swallowed. Maybe he means someone else. Maybe he saw a shadow. No shadow, the man said. She follows me because she is tied to me. Because every time the world chooses, it chooses me. Dr. Patel exchanged a quick look with me. Evelyn, call Psych Consult when you finish with transport. Before I could respond, the lights flickered, a quick, sharp drop. Not like a power failure. More like something drawing energy from the room for a second. Dr. Patel rubbed his temple. Electrical issues always happen at the worst times. But the man didn't move. He whispered, she's trying to catch up. The temperature dropped enough for all three of us to feel it. Jordan hugged his arms. Doctor, he said quietly, I don't like this. The man turned toward the door, staring at the empty hallway again. She is almost here. Okay, Dr. Patel said in his calm doctor voice, the tone meant to settle chaos. Let's get him transported now. The man stepped away from the wall, his expression tightening. If I leave the room, she will lose me. Dr. Patel kept his tone steady. Nothing will happen to you. We will be right there. The man gave a slow exhale. You don't understand. I'm not worried for myself. Then who are you worried for? I asked. He looked directly at me, eyes deeper than before. For whoever she chooses instead. A chill spread across my arms. Before anyone could respond, a soft knock came from the open doorway. But no one stood there. No footsteps, no shadow. No sound of approach. Just a knock coming from empty air. The man whispered, "She found me." The sun had barely risen when I walked into the hospital for my next shift. I had slept, but not really. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his face from the night before. The stillness, the way his eyes shifted towards someone I couldn't see. The way he said she always comes back. Room 414 had stayed in my mind like a bruise. As I crossed the lobby, Jordan caught up with me. He looked like he hadn't slept at all. You heard, he said. I froze. He's still here, right? He's here, Jordan said. But something happened early this morning. Around 5. A cold knot formed in my stomach. What happened? It's easier if I show you, he said. We walked to the elevators in silence. My heartbeat thudded in my ears. The hall outside room 414 felt heavier than usual, like the air hadn't been changed since last night. A maintenance worker passed by, pushing a mop bucket. He crossed himself as he walked by the room. Jordan opened the door slowly. Inside, the man sat exactly where I had left him, upright in the bed, hands resting loosely on his thighs. His posture hadn't changed. His expression hadn't changed. But something in the room had. On the monitor beside him, every line was flat. Red warnings blinked steadily, but slowly, like the machine itself was tired. Has anyone checked him? I asked. Yes, Jordan said. Twice, no pulse. No vitals. But he's still awake, still responsive. I stepped closer. Sir, can you hear me? His head turned toward me. That same slow, almost delicate movement, like his body was unsure if it should bother. She's close, he said. Who is she? I asked again. My voice sounded steadier than I felt. He blinked. The one who keeps me here. His fingers twitched. Not a lot. Just enough to show he wasn't frozen. His skin still had color, but not warmth. I touched the back of his hand gently. You're safe, I said. You're in the hospital. He looked down at my hand on his. You don't believe that, he said. The door opened behind us, and Dr. Patel entered, calm, collected, always composed. She glanced at the monitor, then at the man. I've reviewed everything, she said quietly. We're dealing with a neurological phenomenon. Maybe something dissociative, maybe trauma. But we need imaging. He refused a CT, Jordan said. The man tilted his head slightly. I didn't refuse. She did. Dr. Patel pulled a chair closer. Who is she? He looked past her, toward the far corner of the room. She's waiting for the right moment. What does she want? I asked. He breathed in, slow and uneven. Balance. The overhead lights flickered briefly, then steadied. The vents hummed low and deep, as if exhaling. Dr. Patel stood. We need to transfer him to observation. Keep him monitored continuously. As she turned to leave, the man spoke again. It won't matter where you take me, he said. She follows the one she chooses. Why does she choose you? I asked. He lifted his eyes toward mine, and for the first time since I met him, something shifted behind them. A flicker of fear. Because she died for me once, he said. Jordan and I exchanged a look. The man continued. A long time ago, I don't remember how. I don't remember her name. But I know she died when I wasn't supposed to. So she waits. And every time it happens again, she tries to fix it. Dr. Patel opened her mouth, probably to challenge the logic, but the monitor beeped once, then froze. Not an alert, not a crash, frozen, the numbers locked in place. Even the blinking stopped. The man's lips parted. She's here, my breath caught. Something shifted in the room, not a breeze, not a sound. Just pressure, the kind that makes your lungs tighten. At the far corner, the air seemed to ripple, like heat rising from asphalt, subtle, barely visible, but undeniable. Jordan stepped back. What is that? The man didn't look away. She's trying again. Everything in the room felt wrong. The temperature dropped sharply. My breath fogged faintly. The lights dimmed, not in a power outage way, but like something was absorbing the brightness. The man's pupils widened. She's going to choose someone else, he whispered. I swallowed hard. Who? He didn't answer. The lights flickered again, once, twice, then steadied. The pressure lifted. The fog in my breath disappeared. The ripple in the corner was gone. Dr. Patel moved first, shaking off the tension. We're transferring him now, she said firmly. 2 orderlies arrived with a stretcher. The man didn't resist. But as they lifted him from the bed, he grabbed my wrist lightly. She looked for you, he said. You stayed when others wouldn't. A chill ran through me so suddenly I almost dropped the chart in my hand. We're going, Dr. Patel said, guiding the stretcher out. But as they wheeled him past me, I heard him whisper one last thing. She doesn't like when someone interferes. By the time my shift ended that evening, I had a headache strong enough to blur my vision. The hospital buzzed with rumors about room 414, though no one said anything directly. Nurses spoke in lowered voices. Orderlies glanced over their shoulders. Even doctors avoided talking about it unless necessary. I tried to go home and pretend it was just another strain case. Hospitals see plenty of those. People say all kinds of things under trauma. They hallucinate. They misremember. They create narratives to fill the gaps. But every time I closed my eyes, I felt that cold shift in the air. That ripple near the corner. That moment when the lights dimmed like something moved between them. And I heard his voice. She'll look for you. Just after midnight, my phone buzzed on an instant. Unknown number. I let it ring twice before answering. A long pause. Then a low male voice said, This is Dr. Patel. Something happened. We need you to come in. I'm not on shift until tomorrow, I said. I know, she replied. Please, it's urgent. Her voice was too tight. Too strained. I was already grabbing my keys before I hung up. The roads were empty. The hospital parking lot felt abandoned. The security guard at the entrance didn't even look up as I walked in. Everything felt wrong. Dr. Patel was waiting at the elevator. She looked shaken. What happened? I asked. It's not easy to explain, she said. He's asking for you. My stomach dropped. Where is he now? I asked. In the isolation wing, she said. We moved him after his vitals dropped, though dropped is not the right word since they never existed. The ride-up was silent. The hallway leading to the isolation wing had motion sensors that clicked the lights on one by one as we walked, but tonight they flicked on slower than usual, as if delayed. When we reached his door, she stopped. He hasn't spoken to anyone else, she said. He's been sitting there staring at the wall. But when we said your name, he stood up. I opened the door. He was standing in the center of the room, facing me, hands at his sides. His eyes looked darker, almost sunken, though his face still had color. You came, he said. What's happening? I asked softly. She's close, he said. She's never been this close before. Why tonight? I asked. He looked past me, toward the doorway where Dr. Patel waited. Because I'm the wrong one, he said. My heartbeat picked up. What do you mean? I wasn't supposed to be saved, he said. Not then. Not in the crash. Not any of the times before. She made a mistake. And every time she tries to fix it, something gets worse. My throat tightened. What gets worse? He stepped closer. The balance, the exchange, the one who stays, the one who goes. And what does she want now? I whispered. His expression changed. For the first time, he looked truly afraid. She wants to correct it, he said. And this time she isn't choosing me. The lights flickered violently. The vents shut off. Silence pressed into the room like thick fog. Then I felt it. Not a breeze, not a presence, a weight. Behind me. Above me. Around me. Heavy and cold, like I stood in the shadow of something ancient. The man's eyes widened. She chose, he whispered. I turned slowly. Nothing stood there. No figure, no shadow, no person. But the weight pressed harder. Dr. Patel grabbed my arm. We need to move you, she said urgently. Before I could speak, the man called out. It's not her fault, he said. She follows the rules, she always has. It's the world that breaks them. The lights burst back on with a sharp snap. The weight disappeared. The air warmed. The man collapsed to his knees. I rushed to him. Are you all right? He looked up at me with a strange calm. She changed her mind, he said. She left you. She let you stay. I exhaled shakily. Why? He smiled faintly. Because you didn't run. Dr. Patel looked between us, lost. What now? I asked. He looked toward the far corner of the room. The corner where nothing stood. She'd try again someday, he said. Not for you, but for someone. She always does. And you? I asked. What happens to you? He stood slowly, his posture steady, his breathing calm. She doesn't need me anymore, he said. What does that mean? I asked. But before he could answer, the heart monitor beside him beeped. A soft, steady rhythm. For the first time since he arrived, he had a pulse. Dr. Patel covered her mouth in shock. He looked at me one last time. Thank you for staying, he said. Then he lay back on the bed gently, closed his eyes, and drifted into the first real sleep he had likely had in years. I stepped back, shaken, exhausted, confused. But one thing stayed with me long after that night. Sometimes the hospital feels heavy for a reason. Sometimes the cold patches in the hallway follow a path no one sees. Sometimes a ripple in the air means more than faulty ventilation. And sometimes the person you save was never supposed to be saved at all.